finally we are here in the cupping lab. This is normally what I come for in this time of the year, because I really want to taste the harvest. So I'm here with Diego he has a little cupping lab on the farm. We're going to roast around 15 samples of coffees that they have produced specifically for us. That means they're mainly washed, some honey processed, and also shade dried.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is what we normally prefer to buy. And basically we'll do a cupping tomorrow, so we're roasting the samples today, we're going to taste them tomorrow, and then see if I want to buy anything.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So let's get into it. We're going to start roasting, and then tomorrow we'll taste these coffees. So normally I come here almost every year, normally at the end of February, beginning of March. That's when Diego has been harvesting most of his coffees, at least from the peak of the harvest. And we're able to cup through different varieties, a couple of different processes. And my task here is to basically cup through the samples and see what I would like to buy. I'm always doing it blind, so I don't really know what's on the table. Oh my God, Diego.
That's a good sound.
Ferment.
Oh really?
No.
No, oh god.
The process is, as always, we grind the coffee into the cups, we pour the water on, we wait a few minutes, then we break the crust, we're gonna taste. I evaluate different categories on my cupping form, and based on that we can give the coffees points from 0 to 100, but most of these coffees will end up between, I assume, 83 to 89 points. So I'm just about to break the crust of the coffee, and when you do that you get a lot of aromas. What I'm looking for in a Pakamara is always like a lot of fruit aromas. But I remember your dad always called Pakamara Paco Trouble.
Paco Trouble, yeah.
Because you never know if you have that or not. Sometimes, even if it's the same piece of land and just different picking, the intensity of flavors really varies a lot.
Yeah.
So let's hope you have some good aromas here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, let's see.
Butter.
This has to be a Pakamara. Extremely fruity and very intense fruit. It's hard to describe the fruitiness. It's kind of like a tropical guayaba.
Like papaya, melon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is a good Pakamara. I can see that it's Pakamara also from the beans, but yeah, it smells really good. And this is probably a Bourbon. Very different profile on this farm. Very chocolatey, rich, like sweet, heavy chocolate with a little bit of nutty flavors, sometimes a little bit of fruity flavors. I love this coffee too.
I think that coffee I could drink it every day of my life and I wouldn't get bored with it.
Yeah, uncomplicated and sweet.
Yeah. Classic coffee.
First coffee on the table, probably a Pakamara. The beans are really big, which is a sign that it's a Pakamara. Pretty fruity. It's not like intensity 10. It's more like mid-range, I would say. But maybe it's a little bit fresh, a little bit herbal. Very clean, definitely has some fruitiness. I'm not sure if it's a honey process or it looks like a honey process, but it doesn't taste like a typical honey process. It doesn't have that kind of ferment flavor. So this is a very interesting coffee and a pretty common profile I find on this farm. We have this very sweet, chocolatey undertone all the time, and then you have a little bit of fruit on top of that. But the intensity level here is, I would say maybe a level 6 out of 10. So still pretty good. I haven't scored it yet, but maybe a coffee I would buy for sure. The next one here. You can say straight away it's a natural. Not a profile that I like personally, but a very clean one. The ferment flavor is kind of very fruity and very clean, like strawberry mango-like. But for me it's also a little nutty because it's probably a Bourbon, and that combination for me is not the best for me personally. But there's a lot of customers who love this coffee because you have this kind of fermented cacao flavor that is very desirable in some naturals. So I would say very typical for the naturals here as well. They're always very clean and very well made, but it's not necessarily a profile that I'm looking for as a buyer. It doesn't mean that it's a bad coffee, it's just different taste for different people. Third coffee here is quite unusual, I would say, for this farm. It tastes a little bit like Bourbon, like it has a very chocolatey note, but also very floral, like delicate florals. So I'm guessing that this can be maybe a Geisha, it can be maybe a pink Bourbon. I'm not sure, so I'll make sure to keep an eye on this. Pretty nice coffee, but the floral level, like the intensity of that, is maybe on a 5 to 6, so it's not like insanely intense like a Panamanian Geisha. It's very delicate and nice florals. This is the profile that I came here for when I started buying coffees here. Super sweet chocolatey coffee, low acidity, very kind of sweet, rich, lingering aftertaste, very smooth. A little bit of kind of roasted nuts, but in a very good way, I think. This has to be one of the Bourbon elites from this farm because it's very kind of characteristic for this farm, and a typical uncomplicated coffee that a lot of people love and a lot of people love to drink every day. I would kind of compare this to like drinking a Guinness, and then maybe this one would be more like drinking a white wine. I mean, they're very different. This has like big body, very kind of heavy, rich, sweet, chocolatey. This is more light, delicate, tea-like, floral. So for me, two completely different categories of coffee. The only problem in the coffee world is that everything is just called coffee. So we tend to score them. People tend to score floral coffees very high, and these kind of Bourbons that are very chocolatey and sweet and nice tend to score them lower. But for me, this is a very good quality coffee. Super floral. It tastes like coffee flowers, intensity level 8, very, very floral, also very sweet, has a very kind of milk chocolatey base, but a good acidity and a little bit lighter body compared to this one. Typical Bourbon again, super sweet, dark chocolate, a little bit of nuts, very sweet, lingering, creamy body, heavy coffee, delicious. This is for sure a Pakamara. Fruit intensity 8 or 9 out of 10. Very intense fruit. I'm not sure if it's washed or honey. It's pretty clean. One cup is a little bit more fermented than the other, but that can be a variation in cups. And because these coffees are not really hand sorted and color sorted, so you might have a few defects here and there, because this is just like cleaned very kind of quickly for sample purposes. So I'm curious to cup this again, and several cups, to see if it's consistent in quality. I think it will be. Very nice fruitiness, very high acidity, intense body, but it has this kind of winey acidity that Diego talked about during the washing process that we saw. So I'm assuming this is a washed Pakamara, but I might be wrong. You never know. So even good producers produce coffees that are not great. This is for me not the highest quality from this farm. I'm not sure what it is, probably a Bourbon, maybe a washed, but a lower intensity of body. It's a bit cereal, and also a slight hint of what I think might be a phenolic taste. That can come from too much rain here. Too much rain on the farm can mean that the cherries open up when they're on the tree, and then you get a little fungal attack in the beans. Or it can also mean that you get a little bit of fungus or something like that when you're drying the coffee if it's too wet for too long. So I'm very skeptical about this coffee. Both cups are quite uniform, so I'm assuming this might be a problem with the coffee. Okay. Last one. Last coffee, probably Pakamara. Looks like it. Very high acidity. Fruit intensity, maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10. It's there. It's more like a Kenya fruit, like a blackcurrantish fruit, which is very different from the two other ones we had on the table. Very nice coffee, very clean. I assume that maybe with a better roast, this could have a little bit more fruitiness. because it seems a little underdeveloped in the roast. We were roasting on the sample roast yesterday, and every roast is not perfect, so we'll for sure take this sample home and re-cup it, and hopefully this is one of the good Pakamaras. But as you can see, we have 3 Pakamaras on the table. They're all extremely different in flavor and also quality, I think, which kind of is the challenge with growing Pakamara, that you really never know what you're gonna expect, and you really have to separate every single picking to see which lots are better than the other and not mix them together to kind of make an average quality. So we are looking for the top qualities here, and we know that the best Pakamaras here are good enough to reach top 10 in cup of excellence in El Salvador. So they're very, very nice coffees.